Welcome to another episode, everyone. And this is part one of the biggest white individual I have ever seen in prison. Broke this individual's neck. He was very upset. This individual we are going to call Bully, because he was indeed a bully. But what I didn't tell you in the title is that they turned around and broke his neck for his dastardly deeds. There in High Desert State Prison, it is replete with politics and beset with danger. I've said it once and I've said it again. High Desert is the most violent prison in the state of California, a level 4, 180. And it is in High Desert is where I began to garner my respect for the whites. Before then, I didn't have much respect for them because of me seeing them being demolished in the Los Angeles County Jail and nary putting up a fight. But there in High Desert, things were extremely different. They were saving face and they were putting in a lot of work. The whites, the skinheads, the Nazi lowriders, whatever the hell, the Aryan Brotherhood. Me, myself, I didn't like any of them. And I didn't like this individual bully whatsoever. In fact, we exchanged words, and it was going to go up on one occasion. I wanted it to go up. I wanted to get this individual. I'm going to have to bring you that story at another time. I wanted this guy bad because he was a huge individual. About my height, I'm 6'6". He was at least 6'6", may have even been a slight bit taller than me, and humongous. In weight, he was big and he knew it. And he was around the yard pushing his weight around. And I seen this with my own two eyes. And the way he used to walk around the yard sometimes really irritated me. I'm thinking, does this individual think that he runs this yard? Who does he think he is? I was convinced that he was soft, real big, but not really about that life when it really comes to getting in the gutter with it. And I saw him as an enemy, one that I had ample disdain for because I knew that he hated my guts just based on the color of my skin. And so I felt the same way about him, not because of the color of his skin, but because of the way that he was. At any rate, this is not about me and this individual here, but I saw him and his gang, whichever one it was, as an enemy. The Rolling 60s are not my enemies. The Nazi lowriders, the Aryan Brotherhoods, skinheads, white supremacist groups, they're my enemy. So F them. They know how I felt about them. At any rate, Bully is in love with a CO woman. Yeah, she's bringing it in for him. Now, Bully is addicted to something. I'm not sure exactly what his vice is, but he's addicted to something. Some individuals on their yard were. But the whites, they're not going for it. They're not the type of group, not here in High Desert, where you can be doing drugs, be addicted to drugs, come out on the yard, high, off of drugs. They are going to take your face off, literally. I've seen those individuals there in High Desert State Prison. In fact, the first nearly killing that I seen in High Desert came from the whites. I just got on the yard. Had been there a couple of days or something. And the white guy is he's running fast across the yard, running. And the white guy is chasing him. I didn't know if they was horse playing or what are they doing? Because I had just got there. And then when I looked closer, the white guy that was running, well, both of them were running, but the one in the front that was trying to get away, I looked at his neck, he had a big ass hole in his neck, a big old gaping hole, and blood was gushing. I said, damn. And the white boy that was chasing him had a big old bazooka, a big blicky, and he was on his heels. I said, wow, this yard is vicious. The whites were there putting in a lot of work and putting down demonstrations. In fact, they were unaliving their people. They were unaliving other whites. They were killing their cellies. I'm talking about killing them. This is the atmosphere here in the high desert. They are very structured. There's not that many of them. They all have weapons, and they are all racist, and they are all willing to use these weapons. Bully is beginning to phase out. He's an older individual now. He's about 56 years old. And I was younger at that time. I was about 25 years old. But he still had a lot of juice. And for whatever reason, they are allowing Bully to get away with some things on the yard. It's not because of his size. They're not afraid of him. I've seen them take individuals down. They don't care who you are. If you flout a rule or a protocol, you are going to have your face removed. For what I don't know the dynamics of their relationship and their structure, but for whatever the reason, they are allowing Bully a lot of latitude. At one point, he had gotten into it with one of them right there on the yard, was arguing back and forth. This is something that you'll never see on a level 4180, particularly high desert state prison. Whatever conflict and acrimony you may have with someone, it has to just be handled or left alone. There's no argument, ever. I've never seen it. People just take care of business. There's no room for any of that. But they allow Billy to go back and forth with one of their strong individuals. They begin to cultivate a healthy disdain for Bully as well. The way that he was carrying himself on the yard had drawn the ire of many of the whites there. But again, for whatever reason, they had afforded him a lot of latitude. A young individual ended up hitting the yard, a young skinhead, whatever he was. And he went into the cell with Bully. CO woman is coming by, and she is exchanging letters with Bully. Bully is sitting there all day and night writing love letters to the CO woman. She comes by for the count. He slides the letter under the door. She'll slide him a letter back. She's participating. They have something going back and forth, but it is not what he thinks it is, apparently. He's totally in love with this woman. According to his cellie. He's talking to, let's call his cellie Skin. According to Skin, Bully is talking about this CO woman all day and night. In love, telling love stories. Well, Skin really doesn't want to hear it. Skin is a young individual. And again, Bully is nearly 60 years old. And Skin is one of their young hitters. He just transferred from another prison. Now he's here in high desert. They all know who this individual is. He's up and coming. He is an individual that they can rely on to put in work when called upon. They all have a lot of love for Skin. Now, the CO woman begins to take a liking to Skin. She's flirting with Skin, and at some point she begins to flirt with him right in front of Bully. Now, the word is the CO woman is not that into Bully. It's just that she's essentially afraid of him as well, like apparently many individuals on the yard are. Now, she's really taking, and she's younger. She's more in tune with Skin. They are more of a match than her and Bully, I suppose. But whatever the case, she's flirting with Skin out in the open. I don't know if she's trying to upset Bully or what, but it certainly worked. Because at one point, Bully finds out that Skin has sent the CO lady a letter. And she responded and sent him gave him a letter back. She's choosing. She chose someone else. She no longer wants to deal with Bully, but Bully, well, he's not willing to accept that. He loses control one day there in the cell. They're going back and forth about this, Bully and Skin. Bully is telling Skin, this is my girl. This is my soon-to-be wife. Don't ever send her another letter. And in fact, you have to get out of the cell. Go to another yard. Get away from my girl. Get out of the building. Skin tells him he's not going anywhere, that the woman has spoken. She chose him. He didn't go with her. He didn't go flirting with her. She came and slid him a letter, he said. You just have to accept that. And Bully, his horns came out. His eyes turned red. His ears began to smoke. He was livid. He just lost it. Apparently grabbed Skin and slammed his head against every wall and locker, toilet and sink inside of the cell. Broke his poor little body up, nearly into pieces. He was a bloody mess. When they came by for count, he was in there limp. His head was one way and his neck was going another way. Looked like he was dead. They came, got him, put him on a stretcher, carried him out of there, cuffed up Bully, and carried him out because they didn't know what had happened. Took him to the program office, was checking his hands, this and that. And Bully said that Skin had fallen off the bunk. Of course, I'm on the bottom bunk. I'm elderly. I'm older, elderly compared to him. I'm on the bottom bunk up in here. He's on the top bunk. Y'all know which bunk he is assigned to. He fell off the bunk. They don't have anything to dispute this, to refute this. If Skin becomes conscious again, he's not about to say anything. They left Bully in a hole for an investigation for about 3 weeks. That was really it. Everybody thought he was gone, going to the shoot. It's like attempted murder because Skin did not die, but he's not talking, as to be expected. Essentially, his story was the same, that he fell off the bunk. They really had nothing. No one had seen anything. And so they let Bully out of the hole. Plus, they know who he is on the yard and all that. They let him out of the hole after about 3 weeks. He went right back to his same cell, I believe, because he made sure he went back to that same building with the CO lady. Even though I don't think she wants to deal with him anymore because she's seen him in action now. She knows that this happened. She knows why this happened because she's sending both of them letters. They didn't got into it. This dude leaves. His neck is broke. He nearly died. But the whites on the yard have had enough. They are perturbed. They are irate with Bully. How dare you break the neck of our young soldier over a female who chose him, who started sending him letters. You're a bully. You've been getting away with way too much on the yard. Now you're in here trying to kill our own people. We have to get rid of you. There's no way we can let this slide. But not only that, they begin to have sinister machinations, did the whites. They were contemplating taking out the CO lady, who they believe had ignited the whole fiasco. In part 2, I'll let you know exactly what happened. Did they get the CO lady? I can tell you this. They got Bully. He came back to the yard after about 3 weeks. And they were waiting. They couldn't believe their eyes. They thought he was gone too, going to the shoot or whatever. And again, you have to understand, I cannot stress enough that the whites here in High Desert State Prison are the most violent whites I've ever seen before then and since then. I've still never seen any like them, ever. These individuals were serious, like something out of the movies. They had a cadence with their workout. They kept to themselves. They all had tattoos and bald heads and tattoos on their face, and they're straight Nazis. They all had knives, and they were all willing to use them. They had been on the yard using them against whomever. We had a riot with the whites there. I brought you that, like my second episode here on the Inside Story with me, Damian Porter. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Subscribe to my other channels, Reactionary Politics and The Unwoke Culture. Go check out The Unwoke Culture. I think y'all gonna like that channel. I don't talk about it much over here. I wanted to get his own audience. I don't want to cheat. I want to work and let it get its own audience. But I want y'all to be a part of it if you want to be. Go check it out. See if it's your speed. I think so. I think it will be your speed as well. But I want to work hard over there and let it gain its own audience and get where it's going to get on its own merit. And because of my work ethic, not because I'm over here begging for y'all to go over there and subscribe. Damn all that. I gotta work. So I just mentioned it here and there. At any rate, part 2, I'll do that today. I know sometimes I don't do the part 2s because part 1s don't do that good. I'll just be like, well, the hell with it. Shit, I'm doing part 2 for. I'll move on to something else. See what that do. My bad. But Bully done went crazy in there. He had just blacked out apparently because the dude is telling him, Skin is telling him, I'm not moving out. I'm not moving away from the CO lady because you are all in love. And I haven't done anything wrong. You're not about to bully me and make me move out of the cell. No. And he just lost it and grabbed him and just started slamming him all up in the cell. And there was nothing that Skin can do. It sort of caught him off guard. And once he slammed into the wall like the first time or whatever, it was it. He was pretty much limp after that. He just still got his body and just slamming him everywhere to the desk. He had bruises. He was sliced up his face because he was slamming. He had cuts on his head and all. He was slamming into stuff. Probably had brain problems. I mean, he was limp. When they carried him out of there, he was limp. I'm sure, I know everyone thought he was dead. You can hear the commotion in there. Everyone thought he was dead. Including probably Bully. Everybody thought this guy was gone. He got 9 lives though. He came through. But now the whites are pissed. I think they're taking some of the onus on themselves. They feel like they should have got Bully off of the yard. They let him get away with too much, and now look what he got so arrogant that now he thinks he can do something like this and get away with it too. We should have been removed him from the yard. I'm sure it's what they're thinking. At any rate, they are certainly determined to remove him from the yard now. And again, somehow he's found his way back. He comes waltzing back onto the yard. Because he's in love with this woman. He done found this dude, he got 9 lives. He done found a way to come back to the yard after nearly killing someone. And they couldn't prove that he had done anything. They all talking about he fell off the bunk. Oh man, then he white, so he can get away with stuff. So they let him back on the yard. If it was me, I still would have went to the hole. I still would have went to the shoe. 10 years. But Bully made it back. Back in the building with his boo. So the white said, all right, this is what we wanted. This is perfect. We want to send a message. We We didn't want him to go away. We wanted him to come back. We have a job. We got to have work to do on this individual. And again, the CO woman, who they felt like was behind all this, had started this by flirting with Skin, had not made her intentions clear to either one. Okay, well, who do you want? You can't be dealing with both of them and they're in a cell together. On top of that, make a decision and make it clear. So they feel like she was playing games with these individuals and with their emotions and had got this dude's neck broke. So again, they were really thinking about it, and yeah, they will do it. They were thinking about taking her out, sending a kill squad at her. Yeah, they got them. You got those. You got the situation where just DP them or beat them up or stab them up and move them off the yard, remove them off the yard. You send people at them for that. Then you have the situation where the call is this individual has to die. For whatever reason, this individual has to die. That's a different call. And those calls are made. And then they send a different kind of squad at you. The squad that's going to get that done. That's going to make sure you're dead. They're not sending some weak individuals, some individuals who do not know what they're doing. They're sending the kill squad at you. They know which arteries to hit you, where to hit you at to make you bleed out. One or two of them gonna grab your arms, grab your legs so you can't move, while the other one hitting you right in that head and the heart and in the neck, and them spots where you're gonna bleed out. They sending the kill squad. Did they send the kill squad at the CO lady? For igniting, setting all of this in motion, as far as they're concerned. It was wild. I'll get to that in part 2. Stay safe and stay free, people.